Facebook is having an update today. The stock is up about 4%. The company last night effectively said it was buying back stock. It's not quite that, but that is technically what's happening, right?
They're doing
Rob?
a couple of things. The first is that Mark Zuckerberg said he's not going to sell any stock for a year. Great, because he owns about 500 million shares of stock. And the problem
Does that also include he was going to sell some to meet tax obligations?
He's already sold that.
Okay, so he's not selling anymore. Okay, he's extended his lockup.
And what that does is investors, the stock's been down a lot because insiders have been dumping a bit of stock, quite a bit of stock. Quite a lot, yes. And then the other thing is that they're going to make it easier for the hoi polloi at Facebook to kind of sell their stock as opposed to being locked up for more months.
So it's the idea that you take out a little of the overhang.
Yeah, and
you bring it forward
also, for the employees, they're probably panicking, thinking that their life savings are in this company, and they're watching it fall every day, and that's not good for morale or making companies being able to.
So it's not really
products.
so much about the market that they're thinking; it's more internal recruitment and retention and that kind of thing.
For that part. But the most significant part is what we said, is they're essentially buying back stock. What they did is they have a tax obligation of about $1.9 billion, and they were going to sell stock and grant additional shares to cover that. Instead, they're going to pay cash out. So what that essentially does is it reduces the number of shares that were going to be outstanding by 4%. It's kind of convoluted, but what it does what you need to take away is...
It's how many shares? 200 million shares?
About 100 million shares.
100 million shares.
Yeah, and what that essentially does is it reduces the number of shares outstanding.
So basically, if you were sitting here owning the stock, you had to factor in the idea that it would be another 100 million shares that would come on the market that would be used for remuneration?
Exactly, yeah.
Now, they will be awarded, though, in lieu of something else to employees. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's just cash going out instead of shares going out.
Right.
So the net effect is basically, like I said, 100 million shares aren't going to be outstanding, and instead the company's going to be stock. Investors loved it. Stock went up about 4%.
Well, what do they do with those shares then again, those 100 million or so shares? They don't disappear.
No, they're going back into the pool of shares which can be awarded to executives as part of...
So the worry, of course, is that they'll still just issue those on top of what they might have already done.
Yeah, it's kind of the pump keeps on giving, in other words.
But they're going to have to. I mean, there is a lot of disaffection at the place as a result of this blundered IPO, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about something. I read something about half of employees are underwater in their stock grants. Because you think about it, it's been growing really, really rapidly. So that means
so all the new people came on as the stock was getting,
as it was getting like really, really high, and then suddenly they, and then the company gave them.
Their strike prices are way above the $17, $18, $19.
And the problem is now that when it falls down, it's like a shark. It needs to keep on swimming forward once it's not.
No, it's one of those things. Options are great when everything's going well, and then they have the opposite effect when things go poorly.
Exactly.
It's a real one-way bet, isn't it? I mean, anyway. Well, thanks a lot, Rob. We'll be back with more Breaking Views tomorrow.